Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here. A quick preview for Jermall Charlo versus Brandon Adams. Now this fight goes down on the 29th of June and it takes place at the NRG Arena in Houston, Texas. Now it's got to be said, is this the fight anybody really wants to see? No, it's not. Essentially, this is a stay busy fight for Jermall Charlo, and I guess a bit of a bounce back fight following his subpar performance against Matt Korobov. In fact, there's quite a few people out there who felt Matt Korobov beat Jermall Charlo. I felt that fight was very close. The scorecards were disgusting, but it could have gone either way. I don't have any problem with Jermall Charlo winning the fight. It's just that the scorecards were way too wide. But it was very competitive and Jermall Charlo really struggled. So maybe this fight, it kind of acts as a tune-up, like I said, but also a confidence booster. And maybe that is what Jermall Charlo needs following that performance against Matt Korobov. Maybe his confidence isn't where it once was, hence the reason for this fight. But regardless of what Jermall Charlo's mental state is, regardless of how confident he's feeling, he should win this fight at a canter and with relative ease, to be quite honest. Brandon Adams in the United States is kind of like a domestic level fighter, I guess. He's not really close to world level. His career highlight to date is winning the Contender Series. He beat guys like Shane Mosley Jr. and Evgen Kairatov. And yeah, he won the Contender Series last year. Apart from that, the best guys he's fought are John Thompson. He got knocked out by John Thompson in 2 rounds. John Thompson fought Liam Smith for the vacant WBO Super Welterweight title, and John Thompson got knocked out quite brutally in that fight. Other than that, Brandon Adams has also fought Willie Monroe Jr., and in that fight, he got comprehensively outboxed. So Brandon Adams, he's not close to world level, let's be honest about it. This really is just a mark time fight for Jermall Charlo. And to be honest, he should look like $1 million in this fight. He's the taller, longer, bigger guy. Defensively, Brandon Adams isn't great. His chin isn't the best. Listen, Jermall Charlo should score a good knockout in this fight. I don't envisage Jermall Charlo struggling in the slightest. So as you can tell by the tone of this video, I really don't expect a competitive fight. I would be surprised if this one is competitive. I'm sure Brandon Adams will give it a go, but he's just not on the same level as a guy like Jermall Charlo, and his career to date has kind of shown that. And as a fan of the sport, it's kind of hard to get excited for fights like this. And right now, Jermall Charlo's career just seems to be in constant standstill. At one point, I was quite high on Jermall Charlo. When Jermall Charlo was at Super Welterweight, he was doing some good things. He had 4 fights at Super Welterweight. He won the belt off Cornelius Bundridge. Now Bundridge, yes, he wasn't the strongest guy out there, he wasn't the strongest champion, but he was still a champion, and it's a solid name. He then beat Wilkie Campfort. Now that fight was a gimme, that's a poor fight, but after that he fought Austin Trout when Austin Trout still had something left, and he also fought Julian Williams when Julian Williams was undefeated. So listen, Jermall Charlo at Super Welterweight, yes, his reign wasn't long and it wasn't amazing, but he was doing some good things. But since he's gone to middleweight, he's really not built on that, unfortunately. His resume at middleweight has been quite subpar. I mean, in 2017, July 2017, he fought Jorge Sebastian Hyland in what was sold as a WBC final eliminator. This was July 2017, and 2 years later almost, we are still waiting for Jermall Charlo to get a shot at the WBC title. After the Hyland fight, he fought Hugo Centeno Jr., not a great fight, and he fought Matvey Korobov on 6 days' notice, and he looked terrible in that fight. So Jermall Charlo at middleweight has really lost all momentum in his career, to be quite honest, and it's kind of unfortunate and now he's fighting Brandon Adams. Listen, I believe Jermall Charlo is a good talent. He's still only 28 years old, he's got time, but at the same time, he really needs to make a move on. I think he needs to make a decision in his career. Does he keep waiting for a shot at the WBC title? Can he count on them guys giving him a shot? Canelo holds that belt. Do you really think the WBC will dictate to Canelo Alvarez? Do you really think that? I wouldn't count on that. I wouldn't base my career on that. Because Jermall Charlo has been sitting on his ass for 2 years and he's really not done much. Bear in mind, like I said, the Jorge Sebastian Highland fight in July 2017 was originally billed as a final eliminator for the WBC middleweight title. 2 years later, Jermall Charlo still no closer to getting that title shot. I think Jermall Charlo right now is in a bit of a bad spot really, to be quite honest, because all of the middleweight titles are on DAZN and he's kind of on the outside looking in. I really think the people around him, need to have a word, need to make a plan and get this guy's career back on track, because he is a good fighter, he is fun to watch, but it's hard to stay interested in him right now. I mean, why Brandon Adams? Why not just rematch Matt Korobov? That fight was controversial. Why not right that wrong? That would have made a lot more sense than a knockover job like Brandon Adams. People would be more excited about a Korobov rematch in comparison to a Brandon Adams fight. Let's be honest about it. So yeah, I'm not trying to hate on Jermall Charlo, but I'll put it like this. As a boxing fan, the last time this guy gave me a fight I really cared about was the Julian Williams fight. That was December 2016. We are now in June 2019. I really don't think it's harsh, and I don't think you're being a hater to question where this guy's career's going. He's 28 years old, arguably in the best years of his career, and he's just doing nothing. Share your thoughts below. Tell me how you feel about this. Peace.